The Leeds Early Career Publishing Prize launched this year. The prize celebrates PhD research and supports authors to publish an open access monograph. The prize is open to University of Leeds doctoral graduates from 2017, 2018 and 2019. To win the prize, you must submit a proposal explaining how you would turn your thesis into a book. Prize winners will receive a £250 cash prize each. If their book is commissioned, authors will be supported through the peer review process, and all book processing charges and open access fees will be paid for. Prize-winning proposals will be considered for publication by White Rose University Press. The press will follow its normal quality-driven commissioning process, including peer review, and will support successful authors throughout the publication process. All prize-winning authors will be invited to an award ceremony in Leeds. Book launch events will be held for all commissioned monographs on their publication. The prize is for the best monograph proposals. Therefore, applications should focus on how you would rework your thesis into a monograph for a wider audience. This will differ depending on the research and how the thesis has been presented, but you will probably need to rework the structure and present your research in a different way. Here are some top tips on turning your thesis into a monograph from Leeds graduate Dr. Lucy Arnold, lecturer in English Literature at the University of Worcester.
So my first tip for turning your thesis into a monograph, or just kind of advice really, is to remember that rewriting, writing new components and only using some of your research is a totally legitimate way to approach this process. Your thesis started from the point of view of asking a question, and now your book is going to provide an answer, and getting into that answer is going to require different setting up, maybe even a different structure and a different way of concluding than your thesis will. Okay, my second tip concerns the nature of a thesis itself versus the nature of an academic monograph. So if you're anything like me, your PhD thesis will spend a lot of time proving to your examiners that you have done your reading and a lot of time restating your key claims. Now you've passed your Viva, woohoo! You can take some of that out. You can be a little bit more confident in just kind of stating what you're going to state and streamlining the text. Your examiner is an expert in your subfield, but the readers of your monograph are going to be general scholars. So anything that is really only of interest to you and your two examiners can probably go, either to leave you more space for interesting research and analysis, or just to make the book that little bit more kind of streamlined and a little bit more enjoyable for the general reader. Okay, tip number 3, think about your tone and kind of the register that you're writing in. This is something I found really hard when I started kind of transferring the thesis into the monograph form, and something I found really helpful was to read recent monographs published by my target presses, so I knew what other people were doing and I could basically copy them. So it's a really great excuse to buy new books and read them, if nothing else. Okay, boring tip number 4, start thinking about copyright clearances and permissions early doors. You can quote secondary material and archival material in your thesis in a way which you can't without permission in published work. So for that reason, you're going to need to be approaching publishers and archives really early doors to get copyright clearances to use their stuff and maybe pay for the privilege. I ended up paying $50 to Harvard University Press to use an Emily Dickinson poem. Get started early because these things take a lot longer than you think they will, and I didn't and really regretted it, so learn from my mistakes. My final tip or kind of piece of advice is be confident. You have passed your PhD Viva, and that means you have something new and original and interesting to say, and turning it into a book is just a way of bringing that research to a wider audience. So be confident in what you're saying and try and enjoy the process.
The deadline for applications is the 30th of September 2020. More information about the prize, how to apply, and the application form is available at library.leeds.ac.uk/publishing-prize. For any inquiries, please email ecpublishingprize@leeds.ac.uk. We look forward to reading your applications.